How did we get so comfortable?
Welcome back to the vlog, kids. What's good? You know, I decided to be a little extra today because I've been looking rough. Oh, today's video is just is it? I thought I heard something, but it's just gonna be self-reflecting, and I think this is necessary, especially if you're during a growth process and things like that. Like, it is important to reflect. And but hold on, give me a second. So my main thing lately has been like, life is gonna give you what you are. And so that is so true. Like, I feel like whatever I'm experiencing will be a reflection of what I'm thinking or what's going on internally. So it's just like constantly keeping my energy right and constantly focusing on putting out the right things and being the best version of myself. And I feel like real growth happens when you work on the person that you are when nobody's looking. When you work on the person that you are on the inside. When you work on the things that you're thinking about and the things that you are contributing. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what my goal has been. My goal has been inner growth, reality checks, and self-reflecting. It's not easy, but it's necessary if you want to grow. And also just like being able to look at, you know, myself, or look at my failures or things that I have, you know what I'm saying, failed at, and grow from it. And it's just like, for me, I think of things like, oh, okay, I experienced that, and now I know more than I knew before, you know. So it's just not getting caught up in those failures and staying there. So I don't know, it's been very interesting. And my main goal lately has been to spread love. And it's like, I was just talking to my best friend today, and I was telling him, I'm like, well, no, actually, he was telling me about how one of the ways to, you know what I'm saying, be the best version of yourself or be good in this world is by helping others. And I explained to him about how I feel, and how I feel like whenever you're helping someone else, it helps you in a way. But also, I've learned that the only way to be rich in this world is if you enrich others. And so just understanding in order to receive, you have to be willing to give. And just understanding that there'll be sacrifices that you have to make in order to elevate or go to the next level in your life, or, you know what I'm saying, in your life, or as a person, or financially, whatever the case may be. And yeah, like, I don't know, it's been interesting. I've had my ups and downs in a way, but I feel like I truly believe in yin and yang, and I feel like you can't have one without the other. Also, another thing that's been on my mind lately, I've been reflecting on like who I am as a person. And one of the key things that like sticks out to me, and this may be crazy, but like, oh well, it's gonna happen, so whatever. But I always think about how, what will people say at my funeral? Like, if I was to pass away at any moment, like, what would people get up there and say? Will they be able to share good memories? Will it be people saying that I helped them in some way? Like, will people, you know what I'm saying, remember me? And will my character, you know, be something worth sharing? Like, will I be remembered as being a phenomenal woman? And that is my goal. My goal is to constantly grow and evolve and break generational curses, break barriers and different stigmas or stereotypes, and just allowing myself to be free from my past or who I thought I was based on everything else except myself, or everything outside of me. And these squirrels is going crazy, but like, I don't know, it's just a lot of different things. And just also like not being so stubborn and feeling like I know everything to the point where I can't learn. If you get to a point in your life, if you feel like you know everything, you don't know anything at all. Because once you get to a point where you know everything, how could you possibly grow? You know what I'm saying? And so I've just learned that life, or God, the universe, it will humble you. And I don't know, I'd rather just learn from my mistakes instead of keep making the same mistakes. So that's just my goal. And I am a reflection of God's grace and, you know what I'm saying, the power that he has. So just a walking testimony, like a living testimony or a story, however you want to identify with it, I'm willing to do that. And with that, like, I'm learning that sometimes you have to be humiliated, or sometimes you will be humbled, you know? So that's just what I've been thinking about lately. Honestly, it's been very, very interesting. And I'm very excited to see, you know, where this growth will go and how things will, you know, turn out. I don't know. I have high hopes for the future. And I feel like when things happen, I feel like the way you react to shit determines how that next moment will be. You know what I'm saying? And although I haven't reaped everything that I'm sowing, I know that I'm making progress, like, as a person, and I'm growing as a person, as a young lady. You know, I'm just out here growing, and that's very exciting. Okay, so we back at it with a different angle, but anywho, I don't even know where I was at, so let's just keep it rolling. But I don't know, I can feel like, I don't know if it's just me, but as of lately, I can feel like a shift in myself. Like, I can feel like myself changing, but like for the better. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, it's like literally like a cattle a caterpillar. Like, it's literally like the whole process. Like, I've been obsessed with butterflies, and I've always been obsessed with butterflies, but like as of lately, like, I've been seeing butterflies a lot more. Like, the main butterfly I've been seeing is a monarch, and basically a monarch butterfly represents like change and shifts and going through the process of growth and things like that. I've been seeing a lot of white butterflies, and basically white butterflies are like a representation of your ancestors or a loved one that has passed, or just like, you know, that type of like spirit, just like letting you know that like, hey, like, I'm watching over you. And I don't know, like, I've come to a point where it's like the whole, like, I feel like for so long I've been like the strong one, like trying to be strong all the time, and not saying that I don't feel strong, but like I feel like a sense of being able to surrender, like being able to surrender to the process and believing in myself and believing in my dreams and believing in like good things and experiencing love and peace and positivity, like believing in that. And I don't know, it's just like I don't feel the need to carry a like a defense, or like a defensive energy, or like rebellious, or even like basically aggressive, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to be like aggressive, or, you know, like so defensive or reactive, like those different things. Like, you realize that a lot of shit is just not even worth like reacting to, number one. And also, like, I've got to a point where like I understand that a lot of things are like just a reflection of you. And once I realize that like that's not a reflection of me, it's like, okay, so I'm not even gonna react in the same way and reenact that same energy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of like the way like your energy is, it mirrors. Like when they say, oh, it's just a reflection of you, it's not physically you, or it's the same energy though. So it's just like being able to, not only once I know that, it's like being aware of who I have around me. Like, I feel like every single person should have like a mentor or somebody that they're learning from, like an elder, or like a mentor, elder, maybe like your grandparents, or somebody who's wise. For the most part, like overall, you want to have somebody in your life basically has been where you want to go, so that you know that it's possible, so they can teach you, because they're living proof of like, and it's not always going to be the same way. Like, you're not going to always reenact, you know what I'm saying, the same exact way. However, it will be like, you know what I'm saying, kind of like a guideline, you know what I'm saying, because obviously what they did worked, you know what I mean? And we all know that everything is not going to work for everybody, but you just got to have, basically what I'm saying, it's like, just have somebody in your life that you can learn from. Somebody that but that's the thing, you have to know what you want. You have to know what you want, who you are, what you want to be, what do you want. Like, you have to know these things. And I don't know, honestly, the answers to that only you can find out. Nobody can teach you to want something. Nobody can teach you to have passion, or nobody can make you love or do anything. These have to be things that you choose for yourself. Like, know that you have that power. Know that you have enough power to choose and live the way that you want to. Like, that's just that on that. And also in the process is just like understanding that there will be trials and tests and tribulations or whatever, like, but each moment, it's like, in every situation, there's always a way out. And I feel like it's kind of like a weeding out process of it. It's like going to see if you really, how bad do you really want it, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I've come to a point where, like, I have no choice but to trust it, because I've came so far, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's proof. When you look back on your life, the fact that you're watching this video right now is like a confirmation that, like, there could be a confirmation that you've made it, you know, to this point. You can't focus on what happened before. You can't control that. You can't change that. So why do you allow that to have so much influence or power on who you are, or what you're doing, or what you're gonna be? The past is the past. And I don't know, I feel like in some ways the past only exists in your mind, you know what I'm saying? And you don't even know what's gonna happen in the future. So it's almost like, focus on the now. Focus on what are you doing right. Be negative, or, you know, it's just like, the problem is things happen in life, and I understand how it can be like, you can go through some traumatic shit and it can hurt. And it's almost like, okay, on Get Out. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, but like, y'all, I just be having so much I be thinking about. But okay, so like on Get Out, you know how when he was sitting in a chair and the therapist lady was like hypnotizing him, and she was like, now sink, and he just fell into himself, like inside though. And so it's like things like that, but it took for her to bring up something traumatic. So it's like not allowing like hardships or things in life that hurt you, to not allowing yourself to get stuck in that particular feeling or situation or thing or whatever, or experience, whatever. And I think that's, you know, just being resilient and allowing yourself to recover, you know, from things and difficulties, and keep pushing. And I don't know, it's been very interesting. It's like every time I feel like I've learned something, it's like I learned something else. It's like crazy. Like, it's just, I'm in a constant state of learning, and I'm not allowing myself to feel like, oh, I know it all, you know what I'm saying? Because once you know it all, you're not learning, you know? And I don't know if I already linked this. I probably did. Well, if you follow me on social media, you'll see that I post like different things that inspire me, or different videos, or things that motivate me. Hold on, y'all. So, okay, so what was I saying? Y'all, I promise, like, I just be thinking about so much shit, and like sometimes it can sound like blah blah blah, yada yada yada, yeah, whatever we talk about. But if you really listen, you know, I'll be dropping gems or whatever. But okay, back to my social media. So if you follow me on like Instagram or Snapchat, I post a lot of quotes. I post a lot of like videos. I'll say like swipe up, or on Instagram I'll just screenshot it and I'll tell people like, go watch this, yada yada yada. But I recently did that, and I posted this interview that I watched in like 11th grade. I want to say like 11th or 10th grade. I was watching this video of like Lauryn Hill. It was this interview that I found of her, and she was basically like talking about like life and her experiences and yada yada yada, whatever. Go watch it, it's worth it. But a small piece of that, and what I got from that, was experience life. It's like she was saying that we're in a constant state of like, she said life is like this, right? Ups and downs, and you know, hills, basically like hills and mountains, whatever. And she was saying if you're here, the opposite of being here is being up here. So it's like that yin and yang type of thing, like having the good and the bad and the up and the down. It's balance. It's called balance. And she was basically saying like some people, like they reach a point where they feel like they've mastered it all. And she was saying we're in the constant state of like learning mastership. And she said some people are like they master one thing and they're like, oh, I got it, I don't want to move, I'm at the top. But the only thing, the opposite of being cool is being not cool again. And so it's just like understanding that life is gonna have its ups and downs, but like, how would you know one without the other? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't experience good without the bad. You wouldn't know the difference. So it's just like understanding that. But I feel like the whole moral of this conversation is that life is short. You know what I mean? And it's just like, don't get caught up worrying about shit that don't really matter. Like, it's just being aware of what you're looking at, who you're following, and what type of things. Because what happens is we'll see so many different things and different opinions and different perspectives, like all at once, you know. And I don't know, it's just like I'm learning, like, don't compare yourself to nobody in this world, because there'll never be another you in existence. You know what I'm saying? Like, there'll never be another me. You know what I'm saying? After I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, understand the significance in that. Understand that, like, there was a lot of little sperms running and you made it here. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy how, like, we are trained to think in this, like, big world and yada, yada, yada. Like, no, like, you are here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, your life, your existence, your experience matters. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole lot. I've just been thinking about a whole lot. But I don't know. Honestly, I can say I'm blessed. I am blessed and I am grateful for life and just being here, you know, because in a blink of an eye, you could be gone. You know what I'm saying? So be careful, you know, what you waste time on, because time is precious and life is short. And understand that everything doesn't deserve a reaction. And also not allowing, like, negativity to bring you down, or not allowing people to project their negative shit onto you. Like, people do that. People will try to, like, they'll try to see themselves in you. Like, no, boo-boo, like, you're angry, don't put that on me. Like, no, you're insecure, don't bring that over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, your energy is off, don't try to say it's me. You know what I'm saying? And just learning not to shrink yourself to make other people feel comfortable. Own who you are. You know what I'm saying? Love who you are. Like, the good and the bad. Don't always pick out, you know, the things that you don't like about yourself. That's not gonna help anything. You know what I'm saying? Of course, be open enough with yourself to see, like, you know what I'm saying, some of the habits that you may have. But all of that can change. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't feel down or just so, you know, down in the dumps about if you don't like, you know, who you are at the moment. That could change, you know. So hopefully this was helpful. I know I talk a lot, and like I always say, this is also for me to, like, be able to come back and look at it. But yeah, hopefully this helped y'all in some way, shape, or form. And I don't know, I feel good to get all of that off my chest. Like, honestly, like, it was great. But just stay positive and keep your energy up, and don't allow things outside of you to shift the way you feel or control you. You know, don't be so quick to get angry, or don't be so quick to have assumptions or things like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just don't be so reactive, you know what I'm saying? Learn to think and actually, you know, process and do things. Think before you do and stuff. And also, I feel like one thing that is just like, one thing that's for certain is if you play your cards right, everything will be fine. You know what I'm saying? So that means, in a sense, like, if you do the right thing, you will be okay. Like, if you choose to rise above all of the bullshit, you will be fine. Like, you will literally be fine. Don't let this shit get you down. Like, just focus on your goal and why you're doing it. Set goals for yourself and dream big, think big, and just focus on that. Fuck everything else outside of that, you know what I'm saying? But be a good person and do the right thing while you're at it, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's it, y'all. Peace out.